Greetings Autobots and welcome back to Autobot ASMR's Transformers Reviews. We're going to be taking a look at another 2007 movie figure, and we're going to be jumping in with the 2007 Deluxe class Autobot Jazz. I just wanted to start this video by actually saying thank you all so much for the massive support and love for the Transformers The Game ASMR Part 1 video. I didn't think a gaming video would really take off, seeing as this channel is mostly about Transformers toys, but you guys have shown such a fervor for this series, like with 400 of, at the time of recording this video, 400 odd views. But we'll talk more about it because you guys want to hear more about this figure. So released in 2007 with the rest of the movie 1 Deluxes, Autobot Jazz transforms into a, well, the movie is silver, but this toy is more of a faded grey Pontiac Solstice sports car. Some really nice detailing. I've always loved the shape of this car. The little mustache at the front, the exposed grille, the little Pontiac logo, the lovely translucent blue plastic for the windshield and the doors. Just gives this car such a cool looking shape, and proportionally it is pretty spot on to how the actual car looks. It feels chunky, it's fun to hold. There's no parts of it that loose, everything just clicks together nice and securely. And he's got pretty good detailing all over him. You've got some nice detail here, these little sort of honeycomb patterns at the back, little tail lights, nice spoiler. Even got the little handles of the doors, the gas cap, these little side vents. Maybe they're like exhausts, not too sure what they are, but yeah, overall just a really well detailed vehicle mode. Given that this guy is one of the more, how do we say, controversial, I wouldn't know if it would be fair to say controversial, it's not a bad toy, but there are people that are a bit mixed with him, and it's mostly to do with his robot mode. So let's not waste any time and transform Jazz into his robot mode. So Jazz's transformation is actually quite simple, but a lot of fun. Start by just grabbing this back section here with the spoiler and just bring it up. And then what I like to do is just take this whole section here with the crotch and then bring the legs down, extend the lower half of the leg with the feet, extend the section with the knees, flip down the front part of the robot mode foot, take these little sections here that look like wheels, actually kind of look like heel spurs, wheel spurs if you will. Saw an opportunity to make a terrible joke and I seized it. This other one's just a little bit stiff, so just swing that back, and you're just going to want to bring the heel up as it's hidden inside his robot mode foot. So just give it a bit of a push on the back, and there you have his legs all done. So we'll just, let me think, because you could bring this down and peg this in, but it just leaves a bit more clearance if you have it unpegged, so we're just going to leave it like this for the time being. Now, or what I like to do here is just take this whole section here and bring it down, and this will push these panels up so you don't have to stress it too much. And then just bring the sections here, they're on a little hinge, just bring them up the way. That was very scary, I thought it was going to snap right off. Just make sure this little piece just, ooh, nice. That was a hefty click. Make sure that just clicks in nice and secure. Take these little side pieces and bring them down until they rest against the wheel like this. And then take these panels here, which will become the arms, and really this is the whole issue why people dislike this figure, is because of how the arms transform and how they look. Just going to take this panel and just swing it around. You can orient it however you want. You can have it fully closed over, but I prefer to have it sitting like this so it's a bit more proportionate to how his hand would look. And then you can just rotate this around, and there you have a hand all done. So for the second verse, it is, guess what? Just like the first. So just bring that panel down, bring this section up, flip out the hand, close this little panel over, and bring this down. Now, much like Ratchet and many other 2007 figures, Jazz is sporting an automorph gimmick. Let me just get his feet angled up correctly. He's a little bit wobbly. There we go, we got him. So you notice his chest and his head are stuck. There doesn't seem to be a way to bring them up. But what you can do here is you just bring this back until it sort of clicks into these little tabs here, and watch the magic happen here. It brings the head up and it actually transforms the chest. It brings this little panel forward and shifts these in. Gives it a more transformed look. So just click that in, angle him like so, and there you go folks. There you have Deluxe class Autobot Jazz in his robot mode. And I have to say, for the first attempt at a studio series at a movie Jazz, I think this guy's quite cool. Yes, the biggest flaw for me, without jumping the gun a bit, it's these arms. These arms are literally just the front hood of the car, and these little piddly pencil tip fingers. But it is a movie one figure, so I can't bellyache too much, but I will say it definitely is a point of criticism, so it's not to be overlooked. But this is still a good toy, don't get me wrong. See here, he's got some impressive looking detailing, especially around the legs. There's a lot of interesting mechanical detail. You come around his crotch, you've got some nice copper or bronze copper coloration, some exposed almost musculature around the codpiece, complete with the Autobot insignia. Some more bronze copper wiring panels across the knees. Just a really solid toy, surprisingly. For a figure made in 2007, this guy holds up like a brick. He's poseable, but he holds together sturdy. If you get this guy, he's not going to be flopping about like, say, Studio Series Bumblebee. We'll talk about that someday, folks, but long story, that figure is, the years have not been kind to that mold, let me tell you something. So yeah, the robot mode is pretty damn good, save for those arms. But everything else, I feel like it just excels in so many areas. The few areas where it stumbles, I'm a bit more, I would say, just a bit more forgiving of it. Now, posability wise, let's see what Jazz is rocking. It's been a while since I posed this fella. So shoulders can go up this far. They are on hinges, so you can sort of bring them down, or you can have them brought up. They can go up that far, down that far. Nothing at the waist or the wrist, as this is just one hinge piece. Nothing at the hand either. Well, you can kind of flip this, but it really doesn't accomplish anything. It's just purely decorative. And let's see, what have we got? Legs can kick up that far. We've got a limited bend at the knee, just because these parts kind of clash with each other. But if you just if you just bend it, you're able to cheat a little bit more out of it. And this would be the furthest bend you could get for the knee, but you'd have to practically break his leg to do that. As for the feet, nothing at the feet, no ankle rocker or pivot. So posability is very limited, but at least you can get him into some decent enough poses, because his legs can kick out a decent little bit, so you can kind of give him a more, you can kind of replicate one of his CG renders where he's just striking a pose, but you can't do the one where he's doing the superhero landing sort of pose. This is pretty much the best you can get. So yeah, posability is definitely this figure's weakest point. I will say this though, it does look good. It's one of those toys that just looks good. It's solid, it's simple. Sure, the posability is lacking, but these toys weren't designed with that in mind. They were designed to just be fun toys and this first crack at this newfangled Michael Bay design aesthetic. So yeah, the robot mode is pretty solid. It's not perfect, it has its issues, don't get me wrong, but despite the criticisms I've levied at this toy, this guy is actually pretty solid. figuratively and literally. I've had a blast just flipping this guy back and forth into his vehicle mode. So, why not close this video out with me as we transform him back into his Pontiac Solstice alternate mode. So, same procedure as before. We'll just start with the feet, flip up the heel and the toe, and just bring this whole heel spur back the way. Flip in the toe, bring this up, swing the heel spur around, flip the feet or rotate them, and then compress them so they align with the door panels, and you just have it looking like that. Now we can just unpeg the waist and bring the roof of the car up, triggering the automorph feature. That's really cool. I love the automorph features. I love when Transformers just had these little gimmicks that made them unique. Let me just unpeg the waist and bring all of this back and take this section here and just secure it nice and tight. You can angle the spoiler up, and finally we'll transform the arms. So just flip these panels up, flip in his hands, rotate this so that this faces straight away, and hang on, let me just rotate a bit just for clearance sake. Just bring this, yeah, for some reason that was giving me a bit of trouble there. So just bring this forward and this whole section around, and you'll have an arm sitting like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Or maybe it'd be better if you flip this around first, so this is lying, yeah, maybe better to do that. Just have that sitting ahead of time, bring that down, flip this little panel so it's sitting like so, with the long exhaust vent piece, flip in the hand, and then you're just going to want to collapse these sections in the way, and they will just sort of lock themselves into place. And there you go, Jazz back in his alternate mode. Next up, I'm going to record Movie 1 Longarm, another figure that I had since I was a kid, though ultimately I never figured out how to transform it because I was an impatient, stupid 8-year-old. So, yeah, I think that about covers it. This was the Transformers 2007 movie, Deluxe Class, Jazz. Let me know what you think about this figure below in the comments, or for figures that you would like to see me review. I know I ask this constantly from you guys, but I really do want to know what you want to see on this channel, because ultimately you guys are part of what makes this whole adventure. These wheels are kind of going up against each other. Apologies, I'm losing my train of thought. There we go. But you guys are part of what makes this show tick, so please don't hesitate to ask for different figures that you might like to see, or even just comment with what you liked about this video or this figure in particular. So, all that being said, Zorabot ASMR, signing off for the night. Autobots, transform and roll out to bed till all are one.